In this video, I'm going to show you how you would dissect a basic question type in Moodle and what are your different options for setting it up. So I'm going to just go over a multiple choice question. So right now I'm in Jane Kleinman's question bank, and I could go under create new question and I could choose multiple choice, but she already has a bunch created, so I'm just going to head down and take a look at one of these with you and describe each of the different parts of it. So when I go down to Anger Management Style 1, I can click on this little edit button, and that will show me all the different fields she filled out to create this question. So first of all, I've mentioned before that you need to put in a question name. This is really just a keyword or a set of keywords to remind you what the question is about, but not the complete question. You put the complete question in this field called the question text. So her question is, which mismanaged anger style fits with this statement? Even though I may wish to complain, I usually don't. So it's pretty important to decide on the number of points associated with this question. So in this case, the default was kept as the number of points, which is 1. Personally, I've never really understood the penalty factor. I think it has something to do with if you allow students in the quiz to correct their answers when they get them wrong. This would be the penalty that would be deducted from their score. You can, if you want, fill in some general feedback. What this would be is probably some text or images or links to a website that the student would see after they answer the question, if you choose to allow the general feedback to appear. You really can fine-tune a Moodle quiz to make it such that based on the student's result, they get extra experiences to reinforce the concepts. So then you need to choose whether or not there's one correct answer or multiple correct answers. If you're going to have kids in a lab or on iPads all taking this at the same time, it might be a great idea to shuffle the choices so that every kid's presentation of the question is not the same. You can change the lettering for the answers, or whether you want it letters or numbers, capital or lowercase. And then you, one by one, put the possible choices. So this is one possible answer, and in this case it's the right answer. So what happens is that you get this pull-down menu for the grades, and the correct answer, you can give 100% to that correct answer. That's like getting 1 point because that's the grade for this question. Now, if you wanted students to, let's say there were 2 correct answers, and in order to get 100%, they needed to get both answers selected, you could change this to 50% and then the second correct answer to 50%. Totally up to you how you set up the percentage. Now, you have the option of, if a student chooses the correct answer, do you want them to get some feedback? More often than not, you would want to give feedback for the incorrect answer. Or maybe you don't want to take the time to do this at all. But what's cool about the feedback field is that you have all these editing tools available to you. So you could conceivably give feedback in the form of an image, or you could link to a video on YouTube to reinforce the concepts, or you could link to a Google Doc with some notes that you have, whatever it might be to reinforce what you want the students to learn after they have taken the quiz. So there's feedback that is given potentially in general for the entire quiz question, and then there's feedback for each individual answer. That is optional. Jane didn't use that. Now here's a wrong answer. Her second choice, I'm not sure why she put -100 for wrong answers. I generally will give those a score of 0. So I would choose none. So they would get no grade for that. But apparently Jane has a different idea on that, and that's totally fine. You can experiment. Lastly, you're going to find a series of at least 6 choices in here. There's the 7th choice. You do not need to use all these blanks, but if you need more choices, so if your multiple choice question has 12 possible answers, you can add or click on blanks for 3 more choices and just continue on. So again, then there's the ability to pose feedback so that if you want the same feedback for every incorrect response rather than each specific incorrect response, you can do it this way with the overall feedback. Again, optional. So down at the bottom, you click on Save Changes, and you've created a multiple choice question in the question bank.